Running late is my cardio. This is To Wit, a podcast about women in tech doing life. In case you didn't know, I'm Kristi Campbell.
And I'm Melinda Smith. And by now, that's our intro. We're not changing it. Just know it and love it.
I just like that I'm reading your notes like that. It literally says, I mean, duh.
At this point. Still.
So the countdown is on.
I'm not nervous. I'm not freaking out. Not freaking out in a bad way. Like in a good way. I'm just excited. Clearly I packed like months ago. Got unicorn hair today. I actually packed as in like I created a pile, and yesterday I put everything in the suitcase.
See, this is the thing. I think this is why I'm partially behind on my packing. I mean, let's be real. I was not going to pack that far in advance anyway.
Oh, not 5 weeks? That's not normal?
But I have a roommate now, and so I usually pack by throwing stuff on the guest bed, like as I think about it. Like I'll run across my thing of stickers and put it on the bed. And now I have no place. So that's what I'm using as my excuse.
I like it.
And that probably means I won't pack until the morning, which is when I'm leaving. But at least I did all the laundry. And I've sort of mentally have a plan. So we'll see. But like worst case, there's a Target. Like I'll be fine.
Oh, it's fine.
So, and a Ross or whatever that is in the corner. So, it'll be great. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, so that's a priority.
Fun.
I decided I needed some color.
Yay, do it. Whoop, whoop. I'm excited.
So,
what do I need? Nothing, actually.
Here. Do you want to place a bet?
On.
What do you think is the over-under on me actually getting jamberries on my fingernails? I own 2 sets because I've convinced they are well-traveled because they have attended Dreamforce.
Like my books?
But have never actually gotten on my fingernails.
Here, I'm going to go ahead and release you from that right now. Just don't. Just don't.
But
it's too fucking hard.
But Melinda.
What?
But my toes are pink because I didn't time my pedicure correctly. So
who's going to see your toes?
I don't know.
Exactly. You're fine.
But my nails could be trailhead badges.
But they could. That sounds really hard. I mean, it just sounds hard.
We'll see.
Did you do any work this week? Have you learned anything? Are we doing anything?
Oh, what have I learned this week?
I literally have nothing, so you don't have to answer that.
Oh, no. I have learned that aside from physically using the UI, there is no way to automatically create partner license type users as Pardot users.
Oh, interesting.
Even with MuleSoft, even with Hopes and Dreams, there's no way for that to happen. So we're working around it.
Cool.
I learned that. What else? I could have 2 since
I have learned stuff, but like my learning is kind of annoying, and I don't want to be like a complainer naysayer.
I've been learning more Pardot stuff, just to figure out syncing and just kind of how we want to attack some stuff. So, yeah. But another thing to have a frenzy about is our guest.
Oh my God, I love her.
It's so funny because to think back to, like, I think she is somebody I was nerdy about meeting. That it was like, ooh, Salesforce famous.
Oh my God, so same. So same.
Yeah. So Angela Mahoney is the lovely and talented Forcelandia co-founder, which is a Portland developer-focused event. She's like pretty near to Original Gangster MVP. Yeah, I don't know if she's like totally, but like she's been around the block a few times in a good way. And also, as we'll learn more about, is the co-founder of the Rad Women program, Ridiculously Awesome Developer Women. So she just does a lot of great stuff. She's got some great sessions, one of which I saw the first time she presented it in London about male allies and being allies to women, which I think is really important. Like I tease that like women know how great women are. Like if that was all it was based on, we'd be fine. But like men understanding kind of, I don't want to be like the struggle, but how to amplify women. So great session that you can see. She's also done some great sessions with her kids about getting code into schools, and just, I literally don't know when she sleeps because she seems like she's just doing amazing stuff all the time. So I think that's plenty of introduction.
Well, yeah.
And now people need to experience the joy that is
Angela Mahoney. Let's bring her on.
Welcome, Angela.
Welcome to the show.
I don't know why we're all singing at you, but
I'm not singing back.
Isn't that how we're supposed to say you're welcome? Or you're welcome to?
That's burping. Isn't that a compliment to the chef?
It is. It is.
And this is how quickly we get derailed. So I feel like you were an MVP before I even knew what MVPs were. So can you give do you have like a elevator pitch of Awesome Angela, of how you got into this whole shenanigans?
It's a mystery. I assume that I got it because I, years ago, helped co-found the dev group in Portland, primarily as a hiring tactic at the company that we were at, because we had a single developer, and I was always terrified that he would quit. So we started the dev group because, it's hard to replace them. And things kind of snowballed from there, and I was nominated a couple of years ago and got that awesome call one day that I wasn't expecting, and floated on Cloud9 for a few hours. It's kind of cool.
Well, that's actually kind of an interesting piece, because I don't look at you and think developer, like that you sit and write code per se, right? Mm-hmm. But you do a lot for the developer community.
Yes.
So that's just accurate. Kind of been where you found your people?
Yes. I think it's because I enjoy that part of it, but I kind of think I missed the bus as a youngster in my youth, and want to help other people not miss that bus, so that if they really want to be a developer, they've got options.
Now,
that makes sense.
You said you got the call, like an email just backing up. Did you actually get calls back in the day? Did someone call you and say, you're an MVP? Or you're just saying an email and you're just being...
No, you're right. It was actually an email. What I remember more is Geraldine called me. Oh. And this is before I knew Geraldine. So it was like, Geraldine called me.
Yeah.
That was totally a big deal. And congratulated me. And I thought, holy cow, I don't get calls from big names.
Isn't that
like
funny
that
to look back on now? Like, I remember the first year I went to Forcelandia and you were like nice to me, and I was like, I've made it,
Don't share my secrets. Don't share my secrets.
Well, if we're sharing first times, I've said it like a million times. This is not new to you. But my favorite is, I think I met you for the first time in Tahoe. And I was like, oh my God, she talks so fast like me. I love it. This is my soulmate.
So we should get this done in about 40 minutes, right?
Right. We're going to solve all of the world's problems in 35 minutes.
Done.
So
I was doing a dry run for my Dreamforce presentation at Toastmasters. I've been a Toastmaster for many, many years. And sure enough, it's a great presentation, good energy, good choice of words. You might want to consider slowing down just a little bit. Like,
you're like, I did.
Right, exactly. Did you not hear the micro pauses? They were there.
You should consider hearing faster.
Right. Turn it up, people. Turn it up. So, yeah.
Speed the F up. Perfect segue. So as we had stated earlier before you were on, this is the pre-Dreamforce episode. Woo! Yes. So it's all, I was like, I don't know what happened there. It did sound like a gag. I mean, whatever. All pre-Dreamforce, all Angela, all amazingness. How many is this for you, by the way?
I was doing the math. I think this is number 11, not consecutive.
What?
Ooh. But yes, I did my first one in 2007, maybe.
What's funny is I can never remember, and then I go look at Elizabeth Davidson's post of years and bands, and that's what reminds me.
True.
I was actually, so maybe this was 2004, 2005. I don't know. I was pregnant with my first daughter, so I did not partake of anything because I was nauseous all the time and trying not to throw up. So I spent a lot of time in the hotel room. Good times. So Dreamforce has only gotten better. for me.
It still cracks me up how every year, either the Road to Dreamforce or whomever is like, this is the best Dreamforce ever. And I get that that's like their spiel, but it still makes me giggle. Like, I get what you're doing there. Yeah. And I like it. I like what you're doing.
So, I mean, back then you weren't walking around as much, for sure. So,
no.
In the scheme of those years, what would you say is like the best advice that you received?
Continue to not walk around as much. Oh, let's see. Best of advice I have received. I usually give it. Because we do our tips and tricks every year. So I'm used to, I'm an old timer. I'm a seasoned DFer, if you will. So I think the advice, initially, I had a colleague that would try to visit every single expo partner. No longer possible.
Oh, God.
It's not possible anymore. So the most useful advice that I now parrot back is you can't do it all. Don't try to do it all. Build breaks. Breathe. Slow down.
Yeah.
If that's at all possible. But it's just not possible to do everything you want to do. And that you have to be okay with that.
But yeah, your first year, you're just like, how can I get to everything? And I remember trying to hoof it from like Moscone to the Marriott for whatever. And you just are like, you almost are so hard on yourself for not getting to all of the things, all of the sessions, but like jam packing your schedule with a ton of sessions is just not advisable. Okay. So let's say you have no obligations. You are there strictly to learn. I would say 5 session tops a day? 4?
Tops. Even then, but see, the thing is like I was saying back in the day, right? You like my quote unquote walking really far was from Moscone north to south in the tunnel, right? Like, so you actually had some hope of getting to things, and you could line up a few minutes ahead of time and have a hope of getting a seat, right?
You get in. Yeah.
So,
back in the olden days.
You'd get it in. Sorry. So I think even more so now, what I do appreciate, there's, plenty of things about Agenda Builder that are maybe not my favorite, but I do appreciate that it warns you about walking distance. And
that's fantastic.
Attempting to help you not be ridiculous.
Yes.
But I think it's also important too, not only can you, even if you do pick even if you pick a reasonable amount of sessions per day, be ready to throw that out the window if you're walking by the admin theater and you see something you need to see, or you run into somebody who introduces you to somebody else who then that becomes your podcast partner, so make room for because I know I used to be in life and at Dreamforce probably, but if my plans change, it was disconcerting and you just can't.
You have to let it go.
They're something's gonna go wrong because there's a bazillion people, and
if you're listening right now and you're like, but I gotta provide ROI. My boss needs a whole report on what I need to do. I mean, you can still do that, but it's super easy to beef up your report on 7 sessions total. It's easy to do that. It's easy, and I would hope that any boss out there would appreciate quality takeaways from a session instead of I saw 14 and absorbed nothing, or I saw 4 and I feel confident now that I could build out my own community.
Yeah. And speaking of community, I met the person that either wrote the blog post on it or is the product manager for it. I met somebody that can answer my question. That's better than a workshop.
Yeah, for sure. I have someone I can reach out to always.
Like us three.
So we're in accord.
Well, who's the coolest person you ever met? Did you have, so I know that Amy started it. I'm not started it. Well, maybe she did. But who she wants to meet at Dreamforce. And I know Kristi did it too a few years ago. Right?
Well, to clarify, I was Amy's person that she wanted to meet.
Yes. Okay. So I got that.
Why I'm involved right as such. Because I'm the coolest. Just kidding.
Yeah. Kristi was at the top of my list, and now I have no life goals because that happened.
Goals all over. But in all the 11 years, who was the coolest person you met?
This wasn't at Dreamforce. I think it was at my first MVP summit. I met Mike Gerholt in person.
Oh, that's one of mine too.
And I couldn't speak. I was so nervous. That I almost couldn't speak.
He's so amazing.
He is. He is.
I love that you were like,
I'm like, there he is.
Back in the red.
That was it. I might as well have been 14.
and you got a sticker.
Button click admin.
Because you were a button click admin. It's very fancy.
So since we're talking advice though, and you want to give it, I mean, I have like ad nauseum advice. What are your, I don't know, let's do top 3.
Top 3.
Ooh, okay.
My top 3 advice are, we already said one of them is you can't do it all, so don't try. Just relax your expectations. I focus on the people. I want to meet Shannon Howe, if you're out there listening. I want to meet
She's the best.
Taylor Swift.
I've never met her. Swift.
Yes, she did
I'll try and help make that happen.
The lip sync 2 years ago and was Taylor Swift and like decked it out, like came in like freaking attire. It was
no way.
Amazing. Oh yeah, she rocked it. I think that was the year that Ammon, it's similar to Adam, just with less letters. Won.
Yeah.
Or maybe
So I do those kind of things in my mind in the middle of the night. Like, I can totally rock it like that, but I can't. It's never going to happen.
See, this is a great thing, right? Put it out there. If you've got your people, like you were saying, Amy's kind of got her list of people. Like, so then if I run into Shannon, I'm going to be like, have you met Angela yet? Yes. Let's see if we can make that happen. Just put it out there in the world. I like it. Okay.
Here's my fear. What she's going to say is like, yeah, I've met her, because I'm really good at doing that, of meeting somebody briefly and then completely forgetting, and they're still on my list. So I'd like to meet Shannon.
Okay. It's easy though. It's so easy to get overwhelmed. All right. So I'm thinking.
Wait, that was only 2. She had one more.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not my turn. This show isn't all about me. Please continue, Angela.
I mean, you got distracted because I interrupted her, so it's fine.
At least we're like super consistent with how terrible we are with guests.
Yeah, perfect. I think the third one, so I always think about food. My life revolves around food, and I always bring snacks. So have your water bottle.
What snacks are you bringing? Like from home snacks, or you go to San Francisco and get some snacks?
Now I go to San Francisco. I used to be more organized, so I would actually make something. But now I come in early and I leave late so that I have time to actually let my feet hit the ground, get situated.
Yeah, I packed those macro bars and a bunch of other things as far like emergency and all this other stuff. But I did pack actual snacks. But I'm coming in. I land at like 8 a.m. So I feel like that's early. I know it's not early. Sunday, but I feel like landing at 8 a.m. in the morning is basically like the whole day, and then leaving Saturday. But it makes for a long week, because last year I came in early, did Alcatraz and left late. And I remember saying like, that's too much. I'm not going to do it again. But with the caveat that it also coincided with my 40th birthday. And that's a lot. There was so much celebrating and so much fun that I came home and was just so beat. And I'm sure I'll be beat this week too, but it doesn't coincide with my birthday. So I hopefully won't be as exhausted.
It's a different kind of beat.
Can I just be a jerk and point out that you said 8 a.m. in the morning, and for some reason that drives me bananas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean.
8 a.m. in the morning before noon, but
8 a.m. period.
8 a.m.
in the morning, exclamation point. How about that? Like I am overemphasizing, not reiterating the obvious. How about that?
Okay. Then it's
okay. It used to bug me when people did, when it was like, because they do 2013 now, but like it was 2001. And I was like, or something like that, or 20, I don't know. I'm still doing it wrong.
In the knots.
Anyways, a lot of shit annoys me too.
Okay.
But that's a separate episode, right?
Yes. So now it's your turn, Melinda. Do you have advice?
Top 3.
Ooh.
2 seconds ago, you were ready to
I wasn't sure what you were talking about. I'm just every time someone calls on me lately between like session practice and work stuff, I'm just like, what? I'm just speaking of being aggravated. I'm like, what do you need from me? Top 3.
Hello, Demon
the one
Melinda.
I always go with is you're gonna be tired. Just own it. Like, don't think like, I just need a plan to make sure I get 8 hours sleep. It's not going to happen. You're going to be fucking tired. Get some emergency, get some vitamin B, get some caffeine. You are just going to be tired, and that's fine. Like, just deal with it.
Sleep when you're dead.
Well, and you're just, or like, it's fine. Just, if you can steal a cat nap in the middle of the day, that's awesome. But there's just no way around getting tired if you intend to hit as much as you want to hit. I'm a big fan of the snacks too. And I'm still a big fan of fitness. It actually does help me kind of set off the day. But everyone
That 6 a.m. stuff, though.
Well, and I can only do it for like 2 days, and then it's just that I need to sleep. But I like kind of setting the day off, like, but it does make for a long day. Then you're like super freaking tired by 6. But the shoe thing is very obvious. But I feel like even the most comfortable shoes by the last day, your feet are just tired.
You have to burn them.
Just plan to walk. I'm kind of running on here more than 3, but like I think my first couple years, I think my first or second year, it was very rainy. So I kept trying to take a cab everywhere, and it took so flipping long. Like you can't even the pedicabs maybe.
Well, all of us walkers were busy blocking.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was like, what's happening? Why isn't this? It was like when Uber was first out. I was like, this is amazing. Why isn't it going anywhere? So yeah, just plan to walk. The pedicabs are fine, but I mean, even they still have to get around. Yeah, just walk. Do it.
Yeah.
Kristi. It's you.
It's my turn.
Yeah.
And here's Kristi.
It's probably a little it's probably a little late now, but I really like wearing compression socks, which is something I learned from Amber Boas and or Pecan. So it is tough though, because, for my wardrobe decisions, like I have to wear them with pants, right? Because they go up to your knees, and that would look
that's hot
with like capris. So, but that really helps my feet too, in addition to the comfortable shoesies. I would say in terms of making time for the expo, I think it's important, not for the swag run and not probably on Friday when everyone's hungover, but just to be aware of the things that are out there, right? Because obviously you're not going to know everything, and just to get an awareness of the sponsors.
Yeah.
And I know that's not necessarily people's favorite thing to do, and maybe that's partially from the Dream In side of things, where like the event legit would not happen without the sponsors.
But the Dream In is a lot less accosting. So I understand, and maybe people don't. If you have never been and you're listening to this, it's their job to scan your badge. Like, they're not trying to pitch you. Just put your badge out there, let them scan you, and either take the swag or not. But it does seem a little accosting, like you're going to get stuck into some kind of sales pitch, and it's really not always like that. Like, it's okay. They just want to scan your badge. They get, each one has like I don't know if there's a goal or a quota or whatever, but they want to scan it. You're going to get an email.
They have to prove
it's fine, but they're not trying to sell you on the spot, so you don't have to like freak out that someone's trying to sell you a timeshare.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, I also plan to just like ignore my phone for a month, because that's what happens. But I think it's good I just learned about something today from a random source that I didn't know was a thing that I might be interested in using. So you kind of never know what you're going to see. And a lot of people do have free tools. So even if you're like, my company never pays for anything.
You never know. And I'll go sometimes just to get scanned. Like, I don't want to talk to you right now. I have other things to do.
Oh, yeah, but send me emails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, send me emails. I actually do want to hear from you.
Yeah, like later. I can't talk to you right now. My BAC is fallen dangerously below 0.08.
Yeah.
I just need...
And there are cool socks around the corner, so peace out. I've got to go.
You have swag that attaches to my phone that's a little fan. I need that. I'm hot. I just can't talk right now.
Priorities.
What is my third thing? I don't know. I guess I'd say like try something out of your comfort zone, random, just getting exposure, because even if you don't understand exactly all they're saying, maybe you're going to meet someone who becomes a resource for you, or maybe then you're at least aware. So when someone comes up with your requirement, you're like, I've at least heard of that before.
Yes.
So I think that's, if you are going to go to some sessions, or like let someone drag you to a session that, you might not have picked. And if you're traveling with coworkers, don't go to the same sessions.
No.
Divide and
solid advice.
I know making new friends can be hard for people who are not me, but even me, I get to a point where I'm like, like I can't anymore. But
and I think with a coworker, you feel like you need to show them that you're paying attention and doing the thing.
Not even that, but I mean, there's so many things to learn. Why wouldn't you want to go to 2 Service Cloud sessions at the same time? Like, don't just hang out with the one person and learn the same things. Maybe,
cross-pollinate.
Yeah, and then you can just like a cruise, honestly. That's one of the reasons cruise is my favorite. Like everyone is in the same place doing different things, and then you get together at dinner or when you get back and you kind of share information, and then the sessions are recorded. So if you went to something that was like, you got to see this, then then you'll know, and then you can do that when you get back.
And speaking of when you get back, and this is a tricky one, but you have tomorrow's Friday, block time the first week of October to go through your notes. Yeah, good. That's it. Go through your notes, because generally you come back and you hit the ground running. And then I used to do this all the time. All those fabulous notes I took basically stayed in a notebook. This is old school, and never saw the light of day again because there's no time. So
Totally.
book time.
I still write notebooks.
I want to retract my walking thing.
Spiral.
So I said, you're going to be tired, get snacks. And my third one, I actually I'm such an advocate for the hands-on. It's kind of late at this juncture. I know this is not timely, but the hands-on sessions really speak to the old school pre-trailhead. There was like the workbooks. God, I love me a workbook. I love hands-on so much, but
they're all trailheads.
But now they're all just walking you through a trailhead.
Oh, what? Really?
Yes.
They're not doing like the workbook anymore?
Like,
no.
There
might be one or two,
really?
But generally we will walk you through this trailhead.
Well, I don't need a guided trailhead. I can read.
I can call you up and share wine and do a trailhead. So that kind of takes the fun out of it.
All right. Well, I'll just cut this shit out.
Yeah,
this part was
I
terrible.
appreciate you.
Yeah, cue the sad trombone.
I think I have drums. Hold on. Wait for it. No, that's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's for like a good joke.
All of it's...
Yeah. Which we haven't had yet, but we'll aim high. We'll do it.
Forget it. I've ruined everything. I've ruined Dreamforce. I've ruined Christmas. This podcast is for shit now. Everything's ruined.
There's no tooth fairy. Did you know that?
Which is good. Like, I don't need to know that some
Kristi.
weird magical creature wants to collect my teeth. That grosses me the fuck out. Yeah.
Shoving money under the pillow.
Give me your teeth. Hey, has anyone seen sharp objects? Like, maybe she wants to put my teeth into a dollhouse.
Right.
No, spoiler alert.
Right, exactly. Sleep with
that
one
actually could happen at Angela's house. Fun fact, I was in the fancy boardroom meeting today, and they have Aquapana bottles up there. So they have church keys to like open them, which, by the way, for people who can't see my gesture, is like a wine key. It's also called a church key.
What you were doing. Okay.
Yes. That's what my gesture is. And so somebody picked one up. You know the one that you use to like puncture the triangular hole on both sides of the high C fruit punch can, so you can.
Oh, old school.
Yeah. So she had that in her hand, and I was like, "Don't look at me with that in your hand." Like she picked it up and then got distracted and was just holding it. I'm like, "You straight up look like you're gonna
in this
stab me."
fancy freaking boardroom.
Anyway, I don't know.
Back away.
Right?
Okay,
No,
so we've all been
boardroom.
to Dreamforce a lot.
How many have you been to?
This will be
Melinda?
6.
Kristi?
Kristi?
6 too.
Woo-hoo.
6.
Same.
I'm pretty sure. 1, 2,
So,
3, 4, 5.
like, what are we most excited about? What do we care about? What is the thing? Like, if somebody has never been, it was like, wow, they're just really overwhelmed me with a lot of advice. Like, what's the coolest thing ever? Angela?
I go for the stuffed animals.
Ooh, for the swag? Nice.
And these are mine. The kids understand. These are mommy's. These are mommy's toys.
That's what she
That's
said.
awesome.
I'd like a Blaze. Hint, hint.
Me too.
Anyone? I'm looking for Blaze.
Well, and there's a new horse, or is it a
No, it's the
donkey?
It's the mule.
I've seen
for MuleSoft. It's Max.
mule. Okay, I had to be so careful. I'm like, is it the ass? Is it the sass? I don't know.
Did you
Really
see
want it to be the
Sassy
sass
coming
ass.
back?
The sass ass would be nice.
There's Sassy sightings. Sassy
I've heard
is
rumors.
on the thing, but apparently prefers the they them pronouns. Didn't know that one. But no Chatty though. I think Chatty's just in a dumpster.
I was joking with somebody that it was Justin Timberlake that did that song and bringing Sassy back.
Though I thought
Right?
for a second that you were joking with Justin Timberlake, which really made me laugh. I was like, oh, you're just laughing with him
yucking it up.
recently?
Yeah, Justin and I go way back.
We're texting. It's cool.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
what are you
go.
excited
Let's see
about?
here. Funnest thing. I don't really care about the bullshit swag that I won't use. The cord taco, the like coasters. I like t-shirts, stickers, and pins, like enamel pins. But as far as like, okay, I've got
about your pins.
2 hours, let's say. What do I do? I really like the Dream Park because you can just hang out there. You can hear music. People usually walk by, wander around the expo. I'm super excited that the concert this year is in, what is it called? Like Civic Center Park or whatever.
Yeah, that's a cool spot.
It is, and it's so easy to get in and out of. So if you're done, you can be done and you don't have to feel trapped. Excited. I don't know. I love running into people, on this, like on the street, like, oh, hey, there's my pal. There's Kelly Bentuba or Kathy Lukerman just on the street. Like, hey, friend.
Doesn't that feel weird when you're like, there's bazillions of people here and I just ran into Joe, like, and I know him.
Yeah.
You ran into everybody. That's my serious answer, aside from stuffed animals, which is actually a serious answer. It's people.
Yeah.
You get to see people. You get to meet people.
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I love the keynote. I had a conversation with someone recently that was like, hey, if we want, we can go to like a satellite viewing of the keynote, or we can just catch it online later. And I was like, no, like I live for it. I get it. It's a sales pitch. I don't care. Like I think it was 2 years ago, I didn't get my shit together and didn't get to the keynote, which I don't remember why or what or whatever, but no, it was 2 years ago because we have MVP seating now, but
I know, but I thought I was waiting for your MVP seating. But anyway, continue.
But so I was in the satellite that still had like the decorated room in like the trailhead theme and the big screens, but like nobody cheered. The vibe sucked.
No.
So I'm like, I have to be in the room for the main keynote. I have to be there to listen to whatever Benioff has to say. I have to be in there for all the stuff and things. And like, it's super important to me. I love the vibe of it.
The energy is intoxicating.
And I would say too, I feel like at least the admin keynote and the trailhead keynote, are going to have a similar vibe, right? So I would say also finding the keynote that applies to you, like, and the thing that primarily that you do would be a good thing to make time for. Cause now there's a lot of little quasi breakout-y keynotes.
Those are great.
There are a lot this year. And true to the core, that's my favorite.
Seats.
I went for the first time last year in 6 years. I was like,
really?
Oh my God. Because I'd heard about it before, but I didn't know why it was great. So I never made time for it. If something better came up, I was like, I don't need this.
It is interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, when it started, it was just Parker, right? A little more intimate. Now there's a bunch of product managers that come there. And so it's nice it's interesting to hear how their brains work and hear sometimes it's good to help you get out of your bubble, but also ask a question potentially about the thing in your bubble. Like,
and get an answer, which is really,
maybe the answer is, yep, that sucks. Right. Like,
yep.
Or
not going to happen, which
like,
that's an
answer. Not everybody gets a pony.
Right. When I was knee deep in territory management and I complained about something and Parker was like, yep, I pulled people off of it to work on Lightning. Like,
sorry.
Yep. So, even if it's not an answer, I think it's just good to.
Like, they're thinking about it. They get it. They understand.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
They're just not going to do it, but
maybe.
I'm excited. Really excited.
Yeah?
After all these years, you think I would not. I've been packed for a month. I actually
you're one of
packed
3 people on this call right now.
Wow.
That's packed.
What?
Wow.
I said you're one of 3, and you're the only one packed.
I got unicorn here.
I'm leaving my house in 12 hours, and I haven't packed.
How many?
In 12. Oh. I haven't packed. I haven't started. There might be stuff in the washer still.
I at least did the laundry, so that's hopeful. But I have this compression socks and with the right shoes and pants and all these logistics I haven't considered. And then I'm like, can't I just get shirts and wear those shirts? Can't count on that.
And because I care about you all, I tested this firsthand. You can get an extra suitcase at Ross's on the corner or TJ Maxx, whatever it is. Yep.
Call.
In a pinch, it's there for you.
Yeah.
It was stupid until it wasn't.
It was stupid until I tried to come home from Portland with 6 bottles of wine in my carry-on and it weighed 55 pounds. Then buying a nice...
But it was good wine.
It was great wine. It still is good wine. I haven't drank it all. It's for special occasions.
Oh.
But yeah, that's when I bought a nice piece. And then there's always that reminder when you see it. And
it's a nice organ.
when you're like, why do I own this? Oh, right. That time I was carrying too much wine.
My packing is so like full to the gills that I'll have to check like the backpack that they give us. If I get piece of swag, I'll have to check another bag.
Well, so I'm going to probably either take my carry-on bag pretty much empty, like with my backpack in it, on the plane, or if I can, put my carry-on inside my suitcase, and then that way there'll be a carry-on size
Makes
hole
sense.
to fit.
I don't have to take
smart. Very smart.
I have packed.
I thought you just said you wanted pens and pins and shirts.
I'm going to have to check another bag. My bag is full. I pack to the T. Each day, each moment. I have no room for anything else in my life. So let's just do a hard left, just super hard left. It's not that hard. It's still in the subject. Angela, you own your own business.
Yeah. Yes.
What does that mean? How terrible is that? No, I'm just kidding. When did you start owning it? Is it after like you had amazing Salesforce mentors? Like, just, I want to know more. Tell me more about your amazingness.
Tell me more. So I've been in consulting twice. Once was actually when I first started on the Salesforce path, because I was the true accidental admin, and I had quit a job that just wasn't working out for me. So I hit 300. I hit 1 year plus 1 day and resigned, and went into like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I need to pay the bills somehow, and found contract work, and it was kind of cool, and it worked out. And I went into sales analysis and fell into Salesforce. Loved it. And that was in Puerto Rico. And that's a great place to fly to every other week from Oregon in the winter time. It was fabulous. But when you're growing a family, that kind of travel doesn't work very well. So I went back into, what I call a real job for about 5 years. And then it was time to move on. So I chose to do that again with really no plan on what I wanted to do, except Salesforce. I did know that. And it's one of those where you just, through a referral network, through the community, you start getting projects, either projects that I found that I did by myself, or I would hire out to other companies if the project was interesting, because there's, as you know, so much to learn on the platform. I can't keep up. So I've been doing that for about, I lose track now, 6 years maybe.
Nice.
Of a different project here. And what I like as a more seasoned person on the platform with children, it provides a huge amount of flexibility.
Yeah.
I've often said I can't do a 40-hour week, which sometimes means a 60-hour week, with the flexibility of I'll work from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then all day. And then after sports, we'll do it again at night, which works with a growing family and a husband that travels. So that's been really nice.
Did you start focusing on dev stuff, or you're like, whatever, I'll take whatever and let's just get it started?
Primarily whatever. I came out of my last job with a lot of PM experience because we had a highly customized, through development, highly integrated platform solution. So that was my skill set. Is managing the larger, gnarly projects that drive you to dream.
Yep.
So I have a love-hate relationship with it. Yet I stick to it. But then every now and then I want to dive back into something hands-on to relearn everything that the platform has done in the last couple of months.
Which you do with Rad still, right?
Ooh, good segue there, Melinda.
Hey, thanks. Thank you. I've been learning.
You're doing good. I'm excited. I'll give a shout out to Rad. That's one of the sessions that I get to speak at. Kristi, you were a Rad grad, right?
Indeed. Round 1.
What?
Round 1.
Yeah.
OG Rad grad?
Right. I got this.
OG Rad grad.
I went to the party at Kieran's house.
So I didn't even know you back then. I remember that. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Where Ashima made chai tea from scratch on Kieran's stove. We were celebrating the end of the first pilot.
I accidentally walked in on Beth pumping. It was just a great time.
It was a much smaller group back then. I did not realize you were OG. That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. With Melissa and
who's now our curriculum lead.
Why is her name blanking on me right now? I see her every year in Portland. Jennifer? Is that who? She the first year at Force Landing, she drove me to the beer festival.
More verbs and nouns. I'm not sure.
More verbs and nouns, please.
She has
your Mad Lib sucks.
wavy gray hair.
Oh, Jennifer Dunn.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people ever.
Yes. She was also my coach. That was a horrible way to describe her, but unfortunately it got you there, so.
I love her. I think she's fantastic.
I'm a rad flunky.
Aw.
Oh, come back.
Here's
come
why,
back.
though. It wasn't like I sucked at it. I had just moved back to Colorado. So
life happens.
Your time zone changed, right?
Like February. But the only time slot I could get was like 9 to 10:30. So in that time frame, I started with Blue Wolf, new consulting, new home, and it went till 10:30. And honestly, I kept falling asleep. I was so flippin' tired. So I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do the homework in my spare time. So what?
In my sleep.
Yeah. So by like class, I was like, I'll catch up.
Oh.
Like I maybe I'm not great on class, but I can catch up. But then as soon as like class 3 or 4 or whenever that they said it was a group activity, I was like, I'm going to let some people down. I'm going to screw some people over. So, I kept going through and I told, I think Liz, Maganello.
Another fabulous person.
I was like, look, I got to be honest. I'm struggling right now, mostly like time frame, and I don't want to let a team down. So I kind of, I'm maybe not a flunky, more of a dropout. Oh, beauty school dropout.
It happens. But now there's level 2 rads.
We are piloting
Rad
part
Squared?
2 after Dreamforce.
Intermediate rad.
Oh.
We're calling it part 2. We're building on part 1. So actually, I'm gonna back up a little bit for people that don't know.
That's right. Tell everyone what rad is. Duh.
Yeah, FYI. Actually, I'd like to hear Kristi say it. What do you call it? And then I'll.
What do I call
add
it?
on to
Like
that.
ridiculous.
Or how would you describe it? I'll put you on the spot. I'll pretend I have a big mic like you do.
Rad started basically because these awesome women got together and they were like, more women should learn how to code and we can help them do it. So it's the year that I was in. Again, I'm sure now that you've got someone managing curriculum, right? So it was a lot of it was based on Kieran's Women Code Heroes blog post.
Yes.
And she's got a great way about her of breaking things down and describing them, especially for admins who are used to things one way. Like for me, the biggest part was like S objects and that like transition of what those words mean different things in code, but very like not that I ended. And I think the great thing about the program is if you want as a launching point to then learn more and become a developer, great. But there's also a lot of value in being able to read code, being able to even start to have an idea of what you're looking at, just understanding concepts so that you can know more about where the line is between clicks and code. And so it's volunteer-led women.
Yep.
And now some super fab men.
Fabulous male ally coaches.
Other women on a weekly basis, and then at the end you had did we have to write?
We have a group project. A group project to solve a problem and present it.
Yeah, so great. I mean, the thing I remember most is like the getting started piece of like how you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? And thinking about like the end-to-end process and how you kind of fit all those things together and how that translates to code and just different. It was our
pseudocode.
Yeah, it was a great example of how people's brains work differently, which is hard for me to remember sometimes that people think differently than me. So, I'm the best, obviously. So anyway, was that the longest explanation? But
no, that's good. And just to fill it out, I remember when we first started it, all of us had different struggles with learning the programmatic side. Like it was a professional goal my boss gave me because I was on the admin side 100%. And he's like, because you manage the platform, you need to know what it is. So learn it. But this is pre-Trailhead, pre-blogs.
You're like, but I did already.
Well, I'm the one that in my first few weeks on the job, when I stayed in Portland and I found my Portland-based job and stopped traveling, after a meeting, during the meeting, I said, okay, sorry, what's the difference between Visualforce and Apex? And after the meeting, he kind of like slapped me across the back playfully of like, you can't say that in a meeting. what's the difference? Because I didn't know back then. So that thus began my struggles back then to learn, well, what is the development side of things? What is a trigger when there's really nothing out there? And it was a very, very long, difficult road because there just weren't that many options. It took me, I don't even remember how long, and I don't want to remember how long to understand the concept that an object is different. It's the same word, but on the admin side, it means one thing. On the dev side, it's something different. So I'd go into the help text and think like, no, wait a minute. In my mind, an object is this. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This is dumb. So we wanted to help
Salesforce.
Right, you're exactly wrong. You need to tweak your text. So it started for many of us that had those similar struggles. Well, shoot, we can make this easier for somebody. Let's all get together and figure out how we can do it. So it kind of started as little, hey, let's give it a shot. And now it's grown into something real. Like I think I was just telling, we've had, I think over 40, 45 coaches, many of whom return, like they might take a break, but we have an excellent return rate. We've got awesome coaches across the world that do that. I work primarily with the coaches that are just super willing to give back a couple of hours every week to help you answer your questions and go through concepts.
How many attendees have gone through it? Do you know?
We have graduated approximately 230, 233 graduates that have completed their final projects. That's how we define it. This last set of sessions, we had 12 cohorts, which was our largest yet. We doubled in size from number 5 to number 6, and we're maintaining that size for number 7. We always are looking for coaches because we always have a wait list. There are lots of people that are interested, lots of women interested in it. We just try to really pay a lot of attention to who our coaches are. Don't burn them out. Pair seasoned coaches with new coaches, because when you coach, you also get to learn new things about how other people might describe particular pieces of the platform.
Well, so and I would say too, if people hear waitlist and they're like, I won't try, am I correct that, first of all, I was a last minute addition from the waitlist like the week before, but also I'm pretty sure that the waitlist people get priority the next time, I think, right? So
we do our best with that. And last time, Simon Goodyear and Tammy Lau, I think, were like last minute additions, and we were able to sneak in one more class at the very end because they were willing to make it work. Thank you. So we got another 8 students in. You just never know.
Sweet. So did you hook up with Kieran? Like how did it start?
I don't remember. I remember way back. Larry Latimer, who was my co-lead and co-founded the both Forcelandia and the dev group with me, we offered...
Shout out from Barcelona, Larry.
Woohoo! He and I decided, like, let's do the Apex in 10 minutes a day type. Like, there was a workbook way back then that we said, you know what, we can do this. Let's do this as a dev group activity. And we'll put together a 10-week session. And we'll just walk through the book. And we did that. And it worked okay. But one of our students, I remember, is like, oh my gosh, this was fantastic. When are you going to do it again? I need to do the same course again. So we're like, all right, we missed something. And in that time, I must have met Kieran because we said, we're going to be doing it again, but following the Java First. So I can't even remember the name of the book. Java First book? I'll have to find it. We're going to pick out the pieces that are relevant to Apex concepts. And we're going to walk through this because it's a really good book. Head First Java, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It has great exercises. It really breaks the things down in a fun way to learn. So like, all right, we're going to tweak our methodology and we'll deliver it through this. And Kieran had said she was interested in doing something. Could she sit in on the class remotely? Because we always did it on site in Portland. So she did. And we continued those conversations to, see how we could, I guess, work together. I don't even remember. We need to like dial a friend right now and see what she says. And then we got together with Ashima Saigal and Sassy. I think she's in Chicago, and decided to give it a try and wrote the first curriculum, piloted it with you, took the feedback. Feedback is hugely important to us because we do read it and we do incorporate it and tweak the curriculum and have been going strong with that. And then finally finished part 2 curriculum. So that's going to get piloted. And our plans are to keep growing, but it's all volunteer based. So it's just how many volunteer coaches can we get?
How many cats can we get for Angela to herd?
Exactly.
And obviously we'll put it in the show notes, but just give a shout out. Like how can someone find to register, and how scared should they be if they know nothing about nothing?
We want you to know nothing about code. We are geared towards admins. You have to be experienced on the platform and have 2 years of experience. You don't need to know how to code. That's where we jump in and say, hey, we will usher you across that threshold and give you a big vocabulary lesson to a certain extent and get you going. So how can you find us? You can always tweet me, DM me, email me, Angela@iCloudSalesforce.com. We have a website, radwomen.org, where there are also links that you can get in touch with us as well. And we keep information updated there as to where we are, when is our next cohort going to start, who our coaches are, what plans are for part 2. Hopefully we'll get it in Spanish in the next year or so.
Ay, ay, ay.
Mm-hmm. En español, por favor. So yeah, we've got plans.
I can totally see like Spanish, Apex, Spanish, Digital Force.
How much do you translate? What do you do? Mm-hmm. So we haven't solved that yet, but we're looking. We're looking to figure that out.
Have your girls help.
Exactamente.
See? Exactamente.
Yeah. Exactamente. And then they can go to Barcelona. I'm so bummed I missed that. It
was a blasty blast. I'm not going to lie. It's funny, though, to be at a community event like that and be like, wow, I don't know anybody here. I mean, I look like I knew Inez and Laura Diaz and a handful of people, but, standing in a room where you typically know more, I was like, wow, this is great. And it was really great to meet people, but it was so worth it.
It's different.
It was 100. Yeah, totally worth it. But yeah, I'd like that to be like a yearly thing. I would like to do an international event yearly.
And there's so many popping up around the world. I'm going to India again, if I can lure any of you to go with me. It was a lot. India Dreamin' was incredible last year. I'm going again. There's one in Europe. I go to eat. I mean, let's bring it back to my food comment. I go for the food, but the community event is wonderful. Uruguay has a developer-oriented one.
Oh, yes. I want to do that one.
That's fantastic.
Yes. I would like to go to Australia. India sounds great, too. That sounds like, isn't that soon, though?
It's in December 1st and 2nd.
Yeah. Like I can't make that work.
Amsterdam.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's not where. Where's your dream in the first one? Brussels.
Ooh, Brussels, I think.
But then it's going to move.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. What, did you see the, what'd you say, You're Dreamin'?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. You're Dreamin'. Sorry.
No, You're, Y-U-E-R. Am I saying that right? All the Dreamin'.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Listen, there's no time for Dreamins right now, okay? It's official Dreamforce time.
Dreamforce Frenzy.
But
Dreamforce Frenzy.
You are listening and you can't make the frenzy. I'm sorry.
Global gathering.
But global gatherings are happening, and Dreamins are a great way to say, hey, look, remember how I missed out on Dreamforce? I'd really like to learn things, so I want to go to this thing in what remaining this year. You've got India, you've got the Northeast.
Northeast Dream in Florida, right? Florida's having one.
Yep, in November-ish. Yep. Those are the only ones that I know of.
And quite honestly, Dreamforce is my annual pilgrimage, but like I feel like content-wise, learning-wise, I absorb more at a Dreamin'.
Well, it's just
it's more relaxed.
It's a more bite-sized bite.
Digestible.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for, but instead I went with bite-sized bite.
You're not going to sleep anymore, probably, but you do get you get a little more downtime and the ability to actually connect because it's not so hurried.
This is true. So true. All right. Yeah. You know what's coming. Angela, are you ready for it?
Do it. Bring it on.
Your biggest Salesforce screw up. Hit us with it.
Hit us with it. You know, the worst thing about it is I went against all of my Salesforce knowledge because I've had to back things out. But I was actually doing some work for my husband's org, which is dangerous on 2 levels, right? Because one, it's your husband, so you have to see him the next day. And it's also, he's an income earner for our family. And I was doing some data cleanup for him and got a little
excited,
overzealous on the delete button without having made a backup, which I broke every single principle, right? Because I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I'm smart. This was like 8 years ago. We're still speaking. And I overcleaned his files for him.
These look tidy now, right?
They look great. Look, I lightened your load by 60%. That was tough. That was really tough.
And that's when Angela learned the size of the recycle bin.
I was doing hard deletes at that point. I'm like, I mean, if you're going to do something, do it well, right? So if you're going to mess it up, just I totally screwed the pooch on that one.
You're not going to screw up minimally. Yeah. Grandiose.
But I don't call those grandiose. I don't call those screw ups. They're learning opportunities. You pay for your knowledge, and I paid for that knowledge, but then you learn.
You stayed married. You have your own business. You're amazing.
You have chickens.
You have chickens.
I have chickens.
And wine.
And bees.
My chickies. Mm-hmm. We have my little farmette where I live.
Bee farm.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you for coming to our pre-Dreamforce shenanigans.
Woohoo! I can't wait to see you in person. And everybody else that's listening. And Shannon, my person that I'm going to meet or re-meet in case I met you earlier. I want to meet you for reals.
You've been put on notice.
Notice.
Okay. We'll see you super soon. And
we love you.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Love you so much.
Love you too. Thanks for having me. I will see you next week.
I love her.
I didn't even ask how she started doing her crystals on her bad's creativity.
You totally blew it. What's wrong with you?
I know.
You're ruining Christmas and Dreamforce.
Like I've never done this before. I think, I mean, I'm not surprised that it was great to talk to Angela. I think she's got a lot of great knowledge to share. So she feels
like a longtime friend, doesn't she? I mean, she is, but like longer.
I think, she definitely, like I say, I still have no idea how she sleeps, right? She's doing like all kinds of stuff. She's fitting in things left and right and has 2 great kids and a few great cats, some chickens.
Great wine.
Honey. And she's just got it all. Quite literally.
So this is it before Dreamforce.
No.
This is it. This is we're closing shop. Everything sucks. We're leaving.
Yeah, by the way.
And again, let me just caveat. Well, if you are not going to Dreamforce and you're super annoyed by this episode, you definitely would have made it to this point. But if you did, you're not excluded. There's global gathering. Ask your friends to bring you swag. People do that. I do it. I'm bringing it for Becca, for people in my colleagues of mine. It doesn't have to feel like totally exclusionary. I know this episode seems like it, but if you're still with us, hey, ask us for swag. We'll send you some swag.
In the meantime,
it's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited.
Just to keep, it's crazy. Just like I feel like it snuck up on me that like it was September all of a sudden, and then it's Dreamforce, which I'm sure we say every year. But I'm excited to see your face. I feel like Dreamforce is our like true friendiversary.
It is
from the Girly Geek photo hunt days.
When I ran to the bathroom and made sure I checked the little round photo to see it was you. You said hi and said something about helping me, and I was like, "Oh my god, is this the right person?" I was like, "I gotta pee." And I ran to the bathroom, and I must have pulled it up on Chatter, and I was like, "Okay, got the right person."
Oh my god, that's hilarious! I'm sure that I knew that, but I forgot. That's wonderful. I just remember our first call when you were like, "You have got it together. Like you have a plan. You're excited." I'm like, "Who is this girl?"
I got shit to do. I'm excited. Obviously, our super fave one is Dreamforce. Super excited. Get to be with our friends and run around like crazy people. But what's your other like rando super fave?
So I am so late to the game with like the Yeti concept. I got one on sale. What's that?
The cooler stuff?
No, like the cup.
Oh
Yetis,
yeah, the cooler
like
too. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, basically yes, the big ass cooler cup. And so I got one on sale at Bed Bath & Beyond for $5. And I found a set of silicone straws that are like the Bubba keg people. So like Bubba brand. And they're these fat straws and they're great. So I've been on the nerdy kick of not using plastic straws, which I'm sure I've talked about. And I got the stainless steel ones, which are okay, except I'm afraid I'm going to jab myself in the teeth.
Yeah.
And they're skinny, so it doesn't fit in like the drink hole on the cup as well. But the silicone ones are fat, and it helps keep the lid on when you're opening it to refill the tea. It's just great. So there you go. Bubba brand silicone reusable straws. That's excitement.
I was digging for my super fave. I feel like in the last week I have no favorites, which sounds like a really Eeyore thing to say. But practicing for Dreamforce, work, my child has been a absolute pill, absolute handful. So I'm like, what is good in my, what are the things I like right now besides wine and sleep and carbs? But I
mean, those are good things.
They're
those
amazing, and I will always love them. And everything's not that bad. I make it sound like things are bad. It's just I haven't had a lot of like, oh, I really love that thing, or I really bring to this like great wine bar. I've just been like busy.
Mine is a straw.
Well, and
so I mean,
and it was just a week ago we recorded, but I kind of accidentally fell in love with the show Unreal on Hulu, which is like a mock. I don't even know what to call it. So it's like behind the scenes of a reality show, but it's also fiction. So it would be like behind the scenes of The Bachelor, and the first season is really uncomfortable to watch. Like I was like, this is not my jam. I'm not digging this. And then you just get sucked in. And I watched 4 seasons in, the last few weeks. The characters are amazing. The show is like a very terrible, like almost like a toxic friendship that you want to walk away from. But here you are at their door, hoping that we can have cheese and wine. And the character, I mean, the character build is so good that you often hate and love a character within the same episode, which I feel like is really good writing when you can be like, that I fucking hate this character, I'm over it, or like, wow, it's just I love them. So it's good actresses, good actors. I felt very attached in a weird way, like yeah, like
committed to the
like
ending.
Emotionally involved in this chick's like jacked up world, and I was like, this is not real, don't be crazy. But ultimately, even though a lot of it was really uncomfortable, like there was a lot of times that I feel like I watched with my hands over my face, kind of like with a scary movie I'd watch with my ears plugged. But it was good and I liked it, and I feel free now that it's over. I felt very, very trapped and very obligated, and
That's
one of the least favorite emotions in my life are disappointment or feeling trapped. Like that show just made me feel like I was obligated to the hilt because I just needed to know.
Like, do you get different Hulu messages than I do? Melinda, you are neglecting this show you started.
This will affect your psyche if you don't finish episode 3 of season 2. Anyways, so
just gonna go ahead and play that for
super
you.
fave. I'm glad it's over, but I broke it off. The relationship is done. It wasn't really good for either one of us, but I saw it through to the end. I did.
You know what? That sounds unreal.
Wait, hold on, wait for it.
Thank you. That is the right time to use that sound effect.
All right, give it to me, baby.
See you next week. Stay witty.